I stay with the heat even though I'm a sad boy. You better watch the way you breathe around me for that breath be your last boy. I've been drinking red boy. I've been chopping down these birds, McCoy. No, I bet my rich in really 9 months. Overseas, honey skin.
I'm sorry, I just can't. As he chuckles, Izuku tries to hold in his laughter at Bakugo's new haircut. Meanwhile, Sora and Kirishima absolutely lose it. The class is back together again, and the internships have ended. Everyone's learned something from their work, and Bakugo was left with his bowl cut. Stop laughing, dammit, it's not coming undone. Well, why did you just do this, said Izuku as he taps his head, letting off an explosion and snapping his hair back to normal, leaving him relieved as he bumps Izuku's chest. Dude, do that earlier, dammit. Everyone, each their own, is talking about their experiences, such as Uraraka, who has taken quite the change. I feel reborn, she said as she gazed into an abyss, with Mina mentioning that her, personality has taken a shift, maybe for the better. Who knows? Man, she's changed so much in a week, said Kaminari to Mineta. Transformation? Wrong, all women have demonic natures deep within them. As he bites his nails sporadically, Kaminari asks just what he experienced with Mount Lady. I mean, I had fun, dude, but the most traumatic experience has to go to you three. As he looks to Ida, Todoroki, he's of course talking about the hero killer, and of course Izuku is included. They ask them how, well, he was up close and everything. I heard on the news he might have been connected to the League of Villains, said Ojiro. No, said Izuku, that's impossible. A man like that doesn't align himself with anybody. He was willing to bear the weight of all his sins. In a way, I can respect that, even if he's deranged. Yeah, I was gonna say, that one-track mindset is kind of cool, said Kaminari. If only he became a hero instead, all those heroes wouldn't have gotten killed. Oh, sorry, Ida. No, it's fine. A meta conviction catches people's eyes, but his led him astray. I will not allow such a thing to happen to me again. I will carve a path to becoming a true hero. Good to see him getting back to normal, thought Izuku. Now, as class continues, All Might takes everyone to Ground Gamma to compete, where they face off against each other in a race, and there Izuku shows the new way that he moves, and he of course gets first place against his group, and All Might signals to come talk to him later. So after that, he goes to the break room. I assume you were told everything, Yamadoriya. I'm sorry that you have this knowledge now. What are you talking about? If I didn't know, more people would be hurt. I will never let that happen. I'm glad to hear. All for One is a dangerous man. The word criminal isn't enough to describe him. And I'm afraid of leaving this behind. No one should have to carry this burden, which is why I have a favor to ask. Not that it'll last long, but... He grabs a hold of his shirt, showing Izuku his massive scar. Mind you, he's in his All Might form right now, and Izuku is quite surprised as he approaches, touching and inspecting it, and asking who did this. No need to worry about it. As long as it can be fixed, I can hold that torch a little longer, even if it's only for a while. Covering his wound with reverse cursed energy, Izuku says that he'll try his best, and as they both look on, they feel a sense of fear at the outcome of this as we cut out of this scene. We then go to Bakugo barging the door of the Midoriya house open, with Izuku falling behind as they just returned from school. Afternoon, Miss Midoriya, he said. Sitting on the couch and watching the news, Inko turns, saying hi to them both as Rika flies out, hugging her from behind. Real happy today, aren't we? She said. We saved All Might today. He's annoying, but it made Izu happy, said Rika. Saved All Might? I'll tell you later, okay? He then runs past her, kissing her on the head, and Bakugo follows him as they go to his room, and Inko thinks Izuku is being bizarrely secretive. We have reports of a lot more All Might than we've seen in quite a while. Word is that our dear number one is retiring soon. This recent lowering in crime activity could be the result of this. As Inko hears this on the news, she thought, All Might's retiring? Meanwhile, in Izuku's room, he tells Bakugo everything, and he's a pretty smart guy, despite how he acts, so he takes it all in like Izuku and just runs with it. That's why there's rumors of All Might retiring. Makes sense. Now he knows he's gonna have to, well, kind of hurry things up, so at least it'll prepare people for when he actually leaves. But Hero Society, it can also prepare for him to leave, but it might make things worse. It's a gamble, said Bakugo. Now onto a new scene. On a beautiful morning, we enter the class of 1A. Due to summer vacation being close at hand, and we obviously can't just let you waste time and lose training time, said Aizawa. We'll be doing a week-long training camp instead. I freaking knew it! Nice! Truth or dare, Semina? Mineta yells bathhouses. Hey, don't get all excited. For those of you who failed the end of term test, you won't be able to go. As the room falls in silence, those who know they have bad grades yell that they will do their best. However, flashing to the final week of June, they scream in agony as those like Kirishima realize that they haven't studied at all. Between all the internships and training, it really slipped my mind, said Kaminari. You may as well just partner up with Yaozu. She has the best grades of our class, said Ida. Oh, really? I'd be honored, said Momo. Running to and grabbing Momo's hands, Imina says that she's a lifesaver, and she says that she will do her best to teach them. I don't know about the practical part though, obviously. I can help with that, said Bakugo. I'll pass, Momo said. What? If you suck at fighting that much, get some experience. I learned by getting my face slammed in constantly. Yeah, hell no, thought everyone. After solving this little problem, they then go to lunch where Izuku, as he sits down with his classmates, he starts to speculate with them on what they think the practical part of the exams will be, because there's always a practical part. This is a hero school. I think it might be us facing heroes, said Izuku. What? That's crazy. But it's crazy enough that Yue might do it, said Izuku. Just then he's hit over the head, swaying forward as he then looks back to see Monoma. Ah, sorry, I couldn't get my shirt around that big head of yours. The hell you say? Exclaimed Bakugo. Stop, I don't care, said Izuku. And I don't recommend doing that. Oh, why? Because you're so special? I heard you ran into the hero killer. And the same thing with the festival and the USJ. You just keep getting more and more attention. As Rika rises from what I will now describe as the cursed realm, she only says one word. Leave. As he's frozen stiff, everyone takes notice of, well, obviously him shaking in his boots as Kendo arrives, dragging him away. Sorry about that, he's always like this. Stop trying to cause trouble. As she heads off, Rika flows back into the cursed realm with a huff, as Izuku was now left feeling bad, as shown on his face, and everyone went back to just doing their own thing. But he knows that he has kind of stolen Monoma's thing. His whole thing is copying quirks, but Izuku just does it better. It's like copying someone's identity, almost. I know how close and personal quirks are, he thought. Hey, don't pay attention to that jerk, Setsuyu. Yeah, I'm not. I just feel like more than usual we're the outcasts of our school. I mean, everyone always wants someone to blame for their issues. Strong always get blamed. Just slapping him across his head at this point, Bakugo says to stop being so morbid. I'm being serious, damn it. I can seriously glass you to the sky. Shut up and eat your katsudon, damn it. As they argue back and forth, everyone bursts into laughter, with Todoroki taking a notice that Bakugo was clearly trying to lighten the mood, and it worked. He's like the angel on Midoriya's shoulder. It's a bit bizarre to see in action, he thought. He then asked Izuku if he found out about that space quirk he used once against Bakugo, and he nods. Doctor says it's most like a quirk that an ancestor of mine used to have, meaning it's a power that skipped about like 2 generations in my family before reaching me. Rika literally is my storage, as well as my adorable little doll, so she's the key to it all. Thing is, more of them are gonna show up. That's incredible. Your ancestors must have been, some people, pretty, OP. I hope so. I hope they were at least reasonable. And so, time passed, training continued. Izuku started to use his new quirks, but sky manipulation was one he particularly found hard to use the right way. So he focused on much simpler other quirks, but he did develop it a little bit. And then eventually the day of the test came. After the written exams, they all gathered outside the academy, near parked buses, facing their teachers. Why is this happening? Asked Jiro. Yeah, this feels like a setup. What doesn't in UA? Some changes have been made to this practical part of the exam, said Aizawa. Indeed, says Nezu, as he jumps out from his employee's scarf, startling everyone, and then he asks to be helped to get down, and upon being helped to get down, he says because of the recent attacks, they will prioritize real-life fighting for future battles. As such, you will be facing your teachers, and me, What? Midoriya, you were right. Oh, this is gonna be fun, said Bakugo. The teams have already been decided, said Aizawa. Yayorozu, Shoto, you're facing me. Midoriya and Bakugo, you'll be facing me. As the two turn, Izuku and Bakugo see All Might as they smirk and bump fists. Show me what you can do, Wonder Duo. Dude, that is a perfect pairing right there. Yeah, too bad you guys are fighting All Might though. Good luck. Don't need it, said Bakugo. You better not get soft on me, Deku. I should be saying that about you. The other teams are just, kind of made up, chosen. They were chosen in advance. And each teacher drives their opponents to a different site on UA grounds. Izuku and Bakugo were dropped off at a demolished site of what used to be a prosperous city. I don't know why I paused like that. And everyone has different scenarios, different places and situations they're dealing with, since their senseis chose these places to specifically challenge them. All Might then leads them to wander around until they hear Recover Girl on the speakers, and she's kind of just like letting them know about what they have to do, the time limit, and all of that. Okay, I have the cuffs, said Izuku. I made adjustments to my grenade so I can use Cluster without getting whiplash this time. Can you use Cluster yet? Yeah, but it expends a lot more stamina. Then just use that space warping quirk to help me condense them. It doesn't work like that. It specifically uses space as a surface, but there is something else we can do. Just as he says this, Rika rushes out of the cursed realm yelling, "He's here!" A massive gust of wind sweeps the buildings into the air, ripping them apart as Rika protects the two from this, showing a wide grin as she sees All Might make his way forward. "Get over here!" As she yells this, All Might readies a Carolina smash that he swings down as he's pulled towards Rika, who holds her hand out while she begins to blow out a cold breath onto it. Suddenly, the hero finds himself flash frozen as from his left and right. He's then blasted by cluster explosions, blowing him back as the leftover smoke hides his students. This allows a portal to be formed behind him, out of which Izuku jumps out, but quickly turning, All Might throws a punch which he blocks with his blade, struggling as his portal fades and he's pushed back. Instantly, he rushes back, appearing behind All Might, who is seen blocking as his bracelets fall off with a cut ripping through his costume and skin. Oh no, thought Recover Girl. From above, Bakugo blasts down and throws an explosion at All Might as he lands in front of him, throwing All Might at Izuku, who he avoids by leaping to the sky by kicking the air itself, and then catapulting himself back down and headbutting Izuku in the back as he feels something break, but instantly he heals himself. Before he can fall, he then turns, grabbing the hero by the hair before spinning and bringing with it the hilt of his blade, which he then slams into All Might's back as a kind of payback. He then craters into the ground as Izuku backs away, refocusing, as the dust is then blown to show All Might standing, completely fine. You have to do better than that, hero. Rika then flies behind Izuku, and Bakugo stays in the air right above them, asking what they do now. And Deku says, "What are you talking about? We're just getting started." This leaves Bakugo with a grin as he notices the signal, pulling back his hands and then releasing a massive explosion down at both of them. What is he? However, grabbing a hold of space, both Izuku and Rika contain this attack, wrapping the very energy, this explosion, with space itself. It's kind of creepy to describe, and the buildings around them are warping to this central point before they release it all at All Might, who is blown back and completely taken off guard. Bakugo then launches after him, barraging him with attack after attack, which All Might keeps pushing aside, but he finds the strength of Bakugo truly astonishing. Unfortunately, this is All Might whose restraints have been sliced off and he's fully healed, so with one punch to Bakugo's gut, he sends him flying, sending him into a state of shock, but catching him above, Rika begins to heal him, which will take a little bit longer. "Thanks. You ready yet?" asked Bakugo. Izuku's gonna kick his butt. All Might then feels this creepy, bizarre feeling. That's the only thing you can describe it as he turns, seeing Izuku with frazzled hair, crazed eyes. I really don't like doing this, you know? Punching, he cracks the air, spreading this terror through space to All Might, who he sends flying as he gets the wind knocked out of him. And with an animalistic stance, Izuku, who has now put away his blade, jumps around using his sky manipulation to surround All Might with after images. And while doing so, he plants Shikigami in a formation before landing as he clasps his hands together, and the hero was hit by invisible slashes that cut and shred through him, forcing him to seriously guard. Midoriya is fighting seriously for once. I see why he doesn't, thought All Might. He punches to his sides, blowing away the Shikigami, but Izuku blitzes him, pulling back his right arm, now covered with a metal gauntlet, as he swings, and All Might does the same, and they clash, their sleeves being ripped to shreds, pushing with strength back and forth as Izuku heals himself and spins out of the way, kicking the air to maintain balance before using the momentum of this to throw a kick to All Might's side. The hero tanks this and lariats him across the torso as he sent crashing to the ground, only for All Might to instantly be warped by darkness, as he appears right before Bakugo, who pulls the pin on his grenade. Good luck. Are you kidding me? Thought the hero, as he's blasted point blank by the beam, along with Rika, who fires an attack as she cracks her mask once again. These two attacks combine, sending All Might crashing out of the city, causing a massive explosion. Rika then flies down with Bakugo, and they both meet Izuku, who lets out a breath, regaining his usual demeanor. He fixes his hair and says, "I'm never doing that again." "You're telling me? That scares the shit out of me," said Bakugo. "Me?" They would then go past the gates and are announced the winners. Hearing this, the other students laugh at the ridiculousness of it, including their senseis, but this only makes both sides want to try harder, which is both good and also bad for the students. All Might then walks out of the bushes, his costume completely tattered as he pats himself clean, putting his hands to his waist. Well, that was something. Good work, you two. Rika puts down Bakugo, who says, "Oh, I think I threw up my breakfast and my lunch." "Apologies, but the worst has passed." "Agreed." "Oh, my head hurts," said Izuku as he goes on ahead, with Rika flying to comfort him while All Might and Bakugo follow behind. What did he do back there? Well, he kind of inputs a ton of cursed energy into his brain, but it also damages his brain, so he needs to keep a constant cycle of hurting and healing. It heightens his senses, reactions, activation time, everything. It just hurts, like a lot. I thought he was going to use it at the sports festival for a minute, but I know how much he hated using it. I was counting on that. Then something else happened. It's good it's a last resort, thought All Might, but that's just it. A last resort. After this, those who pass and those who don't, well, find out that Aizawa was lying, he's an asshole, so of course he lied about the whole thing. They all kind of pass and get to go, but those who did fail will have to take supplementary courses later. When the time comes, they all get on the bus, heading to the training site, but along the way they come to a rest stop where they all on board, stretching their legs and feeling the air on their skin. "Man, we're here already," said Sarah. "This really is a summer camp, huh?" They stare over the cliff, seeing the vast forest. Manna, meanwhile, has to pee badly, and he notices Izuku direct him to a spot for some privacy, which he quickly runs to. Just then, however, there was this car at the cliff before they even got there, and it is open with Mandalay and Pixie Bob making their entrance, posing. "These are the heroes who will be helping you in your training. The Wild Wild Pussycats," said Aizawa. "Nice to meet you," said Pixie. As they stop posing, Mandalay then walks to the edge at the rail, saying that this entire plot of land belongs to them. "Right there, that's where operations will take place." "Isn't that a bit far?" asked Kaminari. "Yeah, why did we stop here?" asked Sarah. Slowly beginning to back up, the students get this strange feeling that they're being duped. Again. "Guys, run back now! Damn it, not again!" As they run off, the ground beneath them is thrown as they're taken with it over the cliffside, pissed as they tumble towards the forest. However, holding his arm out, Izuku creates a massive portal, catching them and spewing them back out close to the ground as they just stumble a little bit, some crash, or etc. The portal would then close, with everyone thanking him. "I would have gone willingly, damn it!" yells Bakugo. As he screams to the cliff, Mandalay leans over and saying, "Feel free to use your quirks, the magical beasts are pretty dangerous." "Why does that sound straight out of Dragon's Quest?" said Kaminari. "Magic beasts? Seriously?" Yue just loves getting creative on making us suffer. As they look into the forest, they start to see a silhouette make its way out from behind a tree covered by the shadows. However, as it lunges forward, it shows its true form, a massive hulking beast made of earth and roots. It lunges forward aggressively, with Kota running up forward and trying to calm it down with his quirk, but it does not stop. This is because he truly couldn't see it before, but now he's up close and he says, "Wait a minute, dirt?" he thought. "This was made with someone's quirk, guys." "Get crushed," yells Izuku, as the creature is then flattened, releasing a massive shockwave as a horde of beasts then make their way forward. All of 1A advances as Bakugo is the first to get hidden by moving with the explosions above the creatures and decimating each one he meets with ease. Sliding under a crumbling beast, Izuku swings his blade down as he stands and it is torn in two before he avoids a claw and slices off the arm of another beast and then quickly decapitating it. He then breathes in and leaps about, using all of these creatures as footholds to get to one and another of their kin, and he shreds all the enemies in his path to shreds. With all his momentum, he then leapt into the air, throwing his sword to pierce through a beast, and it is then lodged into the ground. He would then hold his hands forward and then back before clapping them together. "What's he doing?" asked Kirishima. "A big move for sure. Stay clear," shouts Bakugo, "or he'll be swept up." Taking heed, his classmates already in their own fights just make sure to stay out of what they assume is going to be Izuku's blast radius, and they were right to do so, as he drops one of his arms and keeps up the other one as is. At his fingertips, an energy begins to gather, and he tightly holds back his pointer finger and continues to build it up. Okay, this is gonna hurt a lot. Murasaki. By intensifying and using lapse and his normal process of his mother's quirk and combining this with sky manipulation, Izuku creates an invisible destructive force that he shoots forward as it rips through the oncoming monsters. The force, which shouldn't even exist, then gains a form as it holds a lavender color and is a light to a gas, even though that's not what it is. It's just a formless energy of sorts, and it continues to destroy everything in its path as everyone watches shocked. And even from above, the teachers can see it, with Pixie Bob being annoyed and impressed. "That little... What did he do?" she asked. "Yeah, you get used to that," thought Aizawa. Back at the forest, Izuku is now a bit exhausted from this massive attack, and he sees a massive path card right before him, and he's scooped up and grabbed by Ida, who dashes forward yelling, "Midoriya cleared us a path, let's hurry up and move it." "You got it, class press. Nice move, Midoriya." "No problem. Thanks, Ida." "Well, don't thank me yet. I think we're about to ruin your efforts." As they advance as fast as they can, they find that more of these beasts are up ahead, and honestly at this point they could give less of a damn. That attack from Izuku raises their morale by quite a bit. Time skip. After 1 hour, they manage to make it back as they drag themselves through the last stretch and are finally able to see their camp where their teachers are waiting for them. "Ooh, you guys aren't bad," said Mandalay. "You almost beat our time." "And you dealt with my Earth Beast pretty easy," said Pixie, "especially you four." She points to Izuku, Ida, Todoroki, and Bakugo, calling dibs on them as she starts to smother the kids. "Oh, can we not? Everything hurts right now," said Izuku as he holds his head in pain, and Pixie stops, saying, "Right, makes sense. You practically carried this whole thing." "Well, you don't have to put it like that," said Mineta. "Yeah, she doesn't, but she's completely right. Kinda sucks, but yeah. It's better at using my own cluster longer," thought Bakugo. "It feels like my shoulders are shattering every time I use a blast from it." As his arms weren't even able to be lifted up at this point, he couldn't even shake them, and at this moment, Rika bursts out of the cursed realm screaming, "Who hurt Izuku?" "Oh crap," thought Class 1A. "Rika, I'm fine. Be quiet. The grown-ups are talking, Izu. Who hurt Izu?" As she shows beady red eyes, she turns on Pixie Bob, who then turns away with a nervous sweat, and this is when Rika takes notice of a scared Kota. And she would clear her throat, holding her arms out as a massive bubble of cursed energy forms around everyone, slowly healing them as they look at their injuries being erased. "Thanks, Rika. You're the best. Don't get mad, okay? We really didn't mean to hurt Izuku." As she shouts, Rika would then say that she doesn't really mind, and she then pouts, shrinking to what she used to look like as a child, and rests on Izuku's head, saying that she wouldn't go away until he went to sleep. "Well, they're certainly close, aren't they?" said Mandalay. As he came to her side, Aizawa says, "I hope you don't mind. He's named her after his late sister. She died quite young." Oh, I see. Of course I don't have a problem with that. It's just a bit bizarre." Aizawa would then tell everyone to unload their stuff from the bus and follow him, and he would then show them the inside of their new place and where they will be sleeping. By that point, the sun had begun to set and night finally fell. They began to scarf down some food made for them, and Manly said, "Hey, don't expect this sort of pampering tomorrow, but you better eat your fill now." "Yes, ma'am, no complaints here. Hey, don't steal my chicken." While he keeps eating though, Izuku notices Kota not having asked who this child was, like whose child this was, since he was dealing with a massive headache. But he doesn't have time to worry about that right now. They go to an onsen. Mineta, being the weird that he is, tries to sneak a peek at the girls. He's knocked down by Kota, and Kota falls but is saved by Izuku, who then hands him to Meneley. And he finds out that, well, she's his aunt. The next morning at 5:30, class, I don't know why I stopped there, class 1B, sorry, I was just kind of weird. Never mind. Class 1B follows Vlad King in a hurry as he says, Class 1A already headed out, so we need to catch up. What about the improving thing, Sensei? Yeah, it's not like we can just, like, do that. I mean, quirks aren't like that, right? Vlad then holds his hand to his ear, asking, shh, hear that? As they come to a stop, their steps no longer muffle what their sensei wanted them to hear, that being screams, and massive screams at that, and the ground below them begins to shake. What is that? Asked Monoma. Are you fighting monsters again? As Vlad says they're close to the training area, he shakes his head, and after getting past some bushes, they stumble upon it. A training hell. Of course, like muscles, so to make you improve, we'll have them be ripped apart to shreds, and then rebuild yourself to the teacher. This literally looks like hell on earth, yells Nanase. Agreed. Blasting a cluster explosion after cluster explosion into the air, Bakugo re-wets his hands with water, making it hard to release them, and the same goes for a spinning Uraraka, struggling to stay conscious and trying not to throw up because she's literally like just flying right now and she's not allowed to stop. Mineta ripped out so many balls from his head that he was actually bleeding now, and well, Izuku, let's just say that the ground didn't shake for no reason. High on the highest hill present, Izuku holds his arm to the sky, bursting with cursed energy, that he then inverses, creating the same force used to repulse everything, and then clasps his hands together and swings down with a chop. A massive shockwave occurs, catching 1B off guard as they're nearly knocked down, while 1A carries on, bearing with it. Who's doing that? Yells Tetsu. 1A's resident monster, says Vlad King. Izuku Midoriya. Good. Teleport and explosion, says Aizawa, standing behind Izuku, who then leaps, creating a portal as he exits out of another mid-air, allowing everyone to notice him as he forms 10 portals surrounding himself. With his neck full to damn near bursting, it seemed, bulging veins pop as he creates a portal below him and fires an explosion into it, erupting and separating the attacks evenly throughout the other portals, causing another massive shockwave when they explode on impact against air. Damn it, stop using it, Deku, yells Bakugo as he manages to fire another cluster into the air. Watching Izuku try so hard fires everyone up as they start trying even harder, but 1B was just out of it. Well, there are 40 of us, so even as cool as that is, how are you gonna monitor all of us? Asked Kendo. That's what you have us for. As they hear these familiar voices, the Wawa Pussycats pose in front of them, the whole group now, saying that they will be taking care of them. Where's Aizawa? Asked Lad King. Oh, he's a bit busy, says Ragdoll. Like I showed before, Aizawa is with Izuku, and as Izuku lands before him, he watches him wipe his sweat, damn near looking as if he was gonna pass out. You're gonna use Rika next. Ready? Okay, yes. Curse Blast and Sky Manipulation. Rika, yells Izuku, with his spirit then leaping out from the cursed realm as she cracks her mask, showing one eye before building and firing up a massive green blast of cursed energy, which Izuku leaps alongside with as it rises into the air. He then grabs the sky, clashing with the blast as ripples spread through the air. Easy, you can do it, yells Rika. He manages to grab a hold of the attack as if wrapping it into a blanket, except the blanket is space itself, as Aizawa feels the ground shake more than before, and he falls, looking around, finding that everything, even the ground, is being affected in a bizarre way, all being warped towards him. Everything is literally warping, like as if a wormhole was forming. He looks up, seeing Izuku converging the attack by spinning it between his hands aggressively before he lets it go. The surface unwraps and slings the attack to the sky, causing a massive quake, blowing away a cloud formation above them and crashing past the stratosphere, it seemed. I'm so tired, thought Izuku. As he closes his eyes, he begins to fall and luckily is caught by Rika, whose mask will reform over her one eye, now crying and looking to Aizawa with spite. The teacher would then stand saying, "It may be weird considering who I'm talking to. But who are you? Really? While Tokoyami might be attached to Dark Shadow, and the same goes the other way, Rika's my sister." As he regains consciousness, Izuku is asked by Rika to be let down, and he says that he's okay. Rika's my sister, my partner. I don't care if people don't think the same. This warms Rika's heart as she then wipes her tears, saying, "Yeah, shut up." She blows raspberries at him, and Aizawa sighs, saying, 10 minutes left until 1B takes over. Yes, sensei. Ice plus cursed speech. Why not? Oh, you're putting me through the ringer, huh? Well, you asked for it. As he breathes in, Izuku blows out a massive wave of frost that, as it hits the ground, explodes up into an iceberg reaching 50 meters. And while this cold breath blows from his mouth, he yells, "Enlarge!" Normally, using cursed speech on inanimate objects shouldn't be able to work at all. Izuku can only do this, and Rika can only do this due to one reason. Because as they imbue their curse into their speech, they shroud what they should curse with their cursed energy. So as he lets out the ice, Izuku naturally shrouded it, and at that moment, the massive iceberg expands even more, and Izuku grunts, healing his brain with reverse cursed energy, as Aizawa can't help but be amazed. He was out of stamina at least hours ago. I don't know if it's his obsessive nature to help others or his will as a student, but I can't imagine what he'll be like as an adult, thought the sensei. As time passes, after breaking their limits, 1A returns home, 1B can train now, and as they're back at their base, they are told to make their own meals and are given the proper tools and ingredients. Izuku helps by passing out plates, but as he hands one over and gets his own, he notices Kota scurrying away. What is he? That's dangerous, thought Izuku. As we follow Kota, he runs his path, the path that he set up for himself, all the way to the nearby mountain until he's at his special spot and takes a seat. Man, those stupid hero wannabes. Well, that's not very nice. God! Kota startled sways forward, almost falling off the cliff, when he's then grabbed by the collar and pulled back by Izuku, holding in his other hand a bento. Be careful. Let go of me, jackass. A startled Izuku does, and Kota then turns, asking how he found this secret spot, and with a smile he says, "I sprinted here after you." What the hell kind of monster are you? I just got here. Well, I kinda had to give you this bento. You go the hell away. I never asked for anything, especially not from you. You all make me sick. The disdain in his eyes. Izuku can feel his malice radiating almost the same way his cursed energy does when he sits down crossing his legs. I told you to leave. I would love to, but I can't just walk away and not save those that need it. I don't need your saving grace, bastard. This isn't a comic book. As he scratches his chin, Izuku starts to think of what he should say since he's heard about Kota's parents from Mandalay. And he said, I heard about your parents. Sorry, not to pry. Same thing happened to me. Wait, really? Wait, no, leave me alone. He throws a punch hitting Izuku across the face, but he doesn't even budge, saying, but for me, it was my dad and my sister. She was 10 years old. Kota, now startled by the sudden revelation, pulls back his fist, his face now more timid and acting like a child finally. Izuku then asks if he could just listen to him. After that, I'll get off your back. Trust me, it's a short story. You better hold up your end of the promise then. Still don't like you. As he takes his seat, Rika slowly comes out from behind Izuku, peeking from behind at Kota. Kota notices her, and Izuku says that she's not gonna hurt him. Say hello to Rika, my sister. As Kota tilts his head, Izuku is willing to tell him part of his backstory, how Rika died, but one thing that he's never told anyone before, not even Bakugo, is I was playing around too much. I didn't notice all the traffic. It was the first day that mom let us come home ourselves because she was so busy. She was always so busy. We were in a small town, so things weren't too hectic. And then it happened in a flash. Last thing I knew, I was on the floor. So was Rika. The only thing different about her was her head was gone. Her brain spilled out onto the street. Kota is left completely speechless by this whole thing, and then he finally spoke, asking, then how is she here? He points to Rika, and Izuku shrugs his shoulders. Think of it as a curse, and that's what I have to bear for my stupid actions that day. Izuku, that's not true, said Rika. Maybe, maybe not. I'm just glad that Rika is still here at all. He rubs her head and he then asks Kota, "Wanna eat now?" "Dude, I have completely lost my appetite." "Seriously?" "I'm sorry. I thought you were just an idiot." "Oh, I am, don't get me wrong. Seriously, your life depends on it. Don't ever forget that. I am just an idiot, but I'm the idiot that's gonna save whoever he can. I don't mind being called the worst for doing so." For some reason, these words left an impact on the young Kota, as he would pick up the bento and start eating aggressively, leaving a smile on Izuku's face and Rika's face. We then return to the camp as Manole walks around checking on the kids and asking if they're good, when from the forest, her nephew walks out, and with him is Izuku. "What? There's no way," said Kota. "It's easy," said Izuku. "The worst thing that could happen is just headaches." "Kota, where did you go?" As she runs to him, Manole checks on him all over, leaving him embarrassed as he says to stop, pushing him off her. "I just went for a stroll." "Yeah, I was on the lookout," said Izuku. "Just what kind of black magic did you pull off?" asked Manole. As he chuckles, Izuku walks back to his classmates as Bakugo says, "If you don't stop acting cool and get your plate, I'm taking it." "Hey, hold up, I left for like 20 minutes. He runs, sits down, and starts eating as Todoroki says that he kept the food warm for him. "Something happened between you two?" "Just had a talk." In the following 3 days, the two classes continue to break their limits to the point that they don't even notice their old ones. They're just advancing, especially for Izuku. Though only by a little bit, he has progressed his power by a lot. It has a lot less drawbacks now on inverting his techniques, but it's mostly about him combining different quirks and making their synergy better. That's the next step in this evolution of his quirk. Also, about one thing I haven't explained, yes, Inko's quirk is extremely weak, but all quirks stay like that unless trained. And my hero has taught us multiple times that people's self-belief hold them back. Quirks are biological and psychological. They literally change you to fit you better for using your quirk sometimes. If you believe that your quirk won't change, then it can't get stronger because you're just not trying to make it stronger. Izuku saw the potential in his mom's quirks, and clearly she never wanted to be a hero, as she's never brought it up once in the anime, manga, or anywhere. So she let her quirk stagnate, but Izuku took it in a different direction and intensely trained it, making it entirely different, and also very close to Gojo's curse technique. I just thought that was a cool way to bring it into the story. I had to try, but it actually works perfectly, low-key. As night falls on the 4th day, all of them are gathered up after dinner for the test of courage. "Yay, finally! No more training," shouts Mina. "I don't know what you're so excited about. You're joining a lesson with me," said Aizawa. Almost instantly, her eyes turn to that of despair as Aizawa detains Sato, Kirishima, Mina, Kaminari, and Sero, and he drags them away with his cloth. "Come on, give us a break. You should have studied more." "Sorry guys," said Izuku, "we'll make it quick." "Okay, focus up," said Pixie Bob. "Class 1B will be on the offensive first. You will all go in pairs and follow the path laid out for you. And at the halfway point, you'll find name cards that you need to bring back, and that'll be it. Teams will enter every 3 minutes now. Find your partner." "I like it." "A banquet of darkness," said Tokuyami. So they draw lots and find out their partners, but Izuku is left as one of those without a pair like Ida, Kota, the other Kota, Ojiro, and Mineta. And Uraraka says, "Sorry, I'll hurry back, okay? Don't worry, just go have fun." Heading off, the teams then enter the forest and the others would just wait. But while they do so, Manole then walks to Izuku saying, "I never got to say because I was so shocked, but thank you. Kota's been smiling more lately. It's nice to see." I just talked to him. "It's nothing much," said Izuku. Just then, however, the student begins to smell something as he points to the forest saying, "Wait, look, black smoke." They all take notice of this. "Sorry we're late to the party." As they hear this menacing, almost jokey-like voice, from the forest walks out Spinner and Magne as the lizard drags along the body of Pixie Bob. "No, not again," said Mineta. Stomping on the face of the hero, Spinner says, "The heroes are here. Nice. Even with all our precautions? How are the villains here at all?" yells Manole. "Pleased to meet you kids. We're the League of Villains. Vanguard Action Squad. Might have heard of us." "Take your foot off her head," said Izuku. "Ooh, he's getting mad," said Magne. "Let me get a hit in first." "Stop. Don't ever hold your power over someone's life. It's one of the teachings of Stain. Don't you follow his tenets?" No, you're the only one crazy enough to follow that guy, said Magnet. Also, you're literally stomping on her head. Shut up. Don't badmouth Stain Senpai. Oi, did you not hear me? As they look back forward, the two are enveloped by darkness, and as it disappears from their view, they find themselves in the air and start to fall with screams when they're both hit in the stomach by a red blast, leaving their eyes blank as they fall like comets and crash, with Izuku then running past Pixie while covering her with a bubble of reverse cursed energy. Kota's at his spot. I can't leave him there alone. But, fine, just be safe, said Mandalay. Quickly running to Pixie, Tiger then sees her injury is already gone and he's glad. Mandalay then quickly relays a message to Aizawa and Vlad King, just as Spinner and Magna begin to get up, though very slowly, and Tiger backs away with an angry Spinner unleashing his massive blade, made of many blades, as he rushes forward. You sneaky little shits, said Tiger. Why are the villains here? Will every student survive? Find out in the next part of Boku no Hero Academia. It's been your boy. Hope you enjoy. Peace. And these back-to-backs is coming. I promise you. I'll try my best. I got y'all. Later.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget.